Hello guys and welcome to the Nerds and Jocks and yet another episode of the Dugout Discussions. और इस एपिसोड में हम बात करेंगे after the craziest transfer window जहाँ पे लियोनेल मेसी back wearing the 30 shirt and क्रिस्टियानो रोनाल्डो back to Man United. I think रोहित दा इससे बहुत खुश होंगे. उसमें हम आएंगे. But first we start with League One news जहाँ पे लियोनेल मेसी's first outing with PSG. Obviously Kylian Mbappe stole the show, but कैसा लगा मैच रोहित दा?
Honestly, if you would ask me, I personally believe that Mbappe so far has been the star for PSG. I know there were a lot of disputes before the season started, and he wanted an exit, and most likely he'll be getting an exit as well next year. But I personally believe that so far PSG is all about Mbappe. Well, the season has just started, and I'm pretty sure all the stars will be coming into the picture. But again, like since people were very excited about Lionel Messi, there's this one thing that I'd really like to point out. Messi is an excellent, like Messi is God. If you would ask me, Messi is God. But there's one thing, Messi will need some time to settle into this PSG lineup. It's because of the fact that PSG isn't really the create, like, you don't expect PSG to create much. The main creation happens from Neymar, who basically cuts in from the left, and another piece of creation that is done, that's ideally done by Verratti. So yes, we are pretty sure that the inclusion of Messi will be a good factor. But in the first match, Messi was really not up to the mark. Neymar as well, I personally believe that he is much better than the display that he actually put up. But once again, for me, it will be like, I'm a massive fan of this youngster, and no matter whatsoever he is doing, but he actually, so he proves his performance. He proves his worth by his performances, and that is Kylian Mbappe for me.
Exactly, and the tag that League One gets of the Farmers League, I think it will be improved by players like Messi and all joining. Like the creativity will improve.
See, I will be brutally honest with you guys. I mean, see, these tags, these are ideally being posted by fans. No football league in the world can be the Farmers League or anything. I mean, I still do not understand why would you call it the Farmers League. If you actually want to compare it with the strength of the farmers, I would rather call the Premier League as the Farmers League, despite the fact that I'm a bigger follower of Premier League, because of the strength, if you would ask me. But honestly, yes, the competition in the League One is pretty low. It's not the same amount of competition that remains in the, like the competition that we have seen in the Premier League or in the other leagues. In League One, it is solely and solely PSG who literally has no competition right now. I mean, there are a few promising players coming up from this league, but honestly, you cannot compare them with PSG, who right now has one of the best teams in the world at the moment. And they are still to use Sergio Ramos and Donnarumma and Messi at their fullest swing. So ideally, they are playing most of the players from their second string set and winning comfortably. It's because there's no competition. So I wouldn't
But they lost.
particularly say that. I'm
I,
sorry.
I was saying, but they lost the title race last season. Last season only, I think Lille won the League One, if I'm not wrong.
I am not pretty sure. I guess it was PSG who were the champions. But again, if that's the case, I am not pretty sure about it. But if I'm not too mistaken, Lille came close, but I don't think Lille were the champions. We'll definitely have to check. But yeah, so Lille
Like,
was the champion, I guess. Yeah. Lille was the champion. Okay, so again, like I said, that it was, if you again compare it to the other leagues, mainly to Premier League, the reason why it's trapped as a Farmers League, you would still see that Premier League has been producing a new champion almost every new year, barring the dominance of Manchester City. I mean, Manchester City
hmm.
has been like the epitome of Premier League in the last decade. But other than that as well, we have seen Leicester City coming to the fore. We have seen Wolves at times getting into the title race. Leicester City again rising in the last season title race. So that's a treat. I mean, that is what makes this league very special. But again, the competition in League One is extremely less. And I personally believe that no, the quality of the league will not be improved because of the difference. Rather it would hamper the quality of the league because PSG's strength right now is here, the other teams are here. So do you really see the difference? I mean, like the intensity of a league, the love for a league is actually underlined by the amount of competition that the league offers. If there is one-sided winning for a team, ideally slowly it feels good for one season, two season, but in the third season it starts getting very boring and monotonous, because at the end of the day the fans know that that is what is going to happen. Good football will not be answered or underlined. It will be like a show of superstars coming all over young kids showing their magnificence. So that is what I would like to say. I wouldn't really say that the quality of the league would improve, but yes, definitely the quality of PSG will improve, and I'm pretty sure they are going to hit back Lille in the coming days again for stealing this title the last season, like you pointed out. Thank you.
Exactly. And talking about a one-sided football, we'll move over to Bundesliga, where we saw that Bayern registered a 12-0 victory over Hertha Berlin. What do you want to say about that?
Uh, I guess that victory was not in Bundesliga. It was in the DFB Pokal, where they thrashed Bremer SV in the first round 12-0. Well, that is expected. I mean, and the worst part for Bremer SV was that they lost a man down in the 76th minute. A team that has thrashed Barcelona 8-2. What do you expect them? I mean, like, they are fierce. They are absolutely unstoppable and untenable. They are hungry for goals. Bayern is one of the best teams of Europe. They are like the powerhouse of Europe, and the addition of Choupo-Moting has somehow affected this squad in a beautiful way. So the reason I'll tell you is this, because see, their attack has focused around Robert Lewandowski mainly. Now, what if Lewandowski is not performing for a certain point in time? What if he is injured? They needed a backup, and that is exactly where Choupo-Moting came in. Now, with the attacking intent that Bayern has up their ranks, I mean, the likes of Leroy Sané, the likes of Thomas Muller, the likes of Jamal Musiala, the likes of Tolisso, it's a very attacking outfit. Joshua Kimmich, they all come together. So that is why all they need is a striker who can finish. And we have seen Choupo-Moting delivering those finishes in the perfect times. That is why Bayern Munich has been so successful. Believe me, they are not chasing superstars, but they are building an invincible team. That is why, in fact, even in Bundesliga as well, they are doing a fabulous job. They have won all three of their games, and the last game they went on to win 5-0 against the same opposition, and Robert Lewandowski scored a hat trick. So it's like, it's like they run riots in the League of Europe right now with the current strength they have. That is I have been trying to emphasize on this ever since the first football discussion that we have, that football is not a game of individual superstars. It is a game of a team coming together, and that is what Bayern has been doing. And it's a beauty, it's a treat to watch them play.
Exactly. Like जैसे आपने बोला कि like building on a champion team. Like when you win, you build on that team. And a stark contrast
Exactly.
I'll provide to you with Inter Milan. Inter Milan, like they won the Serie A Scudetto last season, and from then it has been a downfall. It has been a downfall with the coach leaving, Romelu Lukaku leaving, Hakimi leaving. They're like selling each and every player, the coach, the whole team is sold out almost. So
Again, if you would ask me right now, Inter Milan is in the second position of the league. They have played two matches, they have won two. However, there is a catch to that. Now, Inter Milan is turning into a Borussia Dortmund. Like, if you would actually see Borussia Dortmund of the past, they pull out amazing players. I mean, players like Mkhitaryan, players like Aubameyang, players like Robert Lewandowski, players like Mario Götze. I mean, they are an amazing brand. They had some excellent players in their excellence. But the thing is, they prefer, like at the same time, these are the players who eventually establish themselves as the best in Europe. So ideally, it is said that, like Borussia Dortmund, after a certain point in time, they let them go. In fact, even Manchester United and Chelsea will be locked in a war over Erling Haaland the next summer. So Inter Milan is slightly becoming that. If you would actually have a look in the Inter Milan squad, they built a team on the base of scraps from other teams. They took everyone who were criticized, they fixed their problems, they brought them in the team. Because if you have a look at Romelu Lukaku at Manchester United, he missed terrible, terrible goals. But at the same time, the way Inter Milan fixed that problem, that is what, that is exactly what will go ahead and inspire hopes. And they still have the likes of Eden Dzeko up front. They have got the likes of Lautaro Martinez. They still have the likes of Ivan Perisic and Marcelo Brozovic. So again, like I said just in the previous statement, they are not chasing superstars. Romelu Lukaku was no doubt one of the top goal scorers, but I would personally believe that this is a master stroke from the coach as well. I mean, I understand that, like probably the presence of, I guess it was Conte, right, who led them to this Scudetto. Yeah. So
Conte.
I believe that exactly. So Conte had a plan, right? Now again, this new coach has a new plan, and he would definitely be trying to build up another team. If you look at their midfield, they actually have a very good midfield. They have got the likes of Perisic, they have got the likes of Brozovic, Mikola Barella, Matteo Darmian. I mean, they are all coming together, and they are making great use of Skriniar. They let go of Achraf Hakimi. Now, he was a big man for Inter Milan. They let go of Achraf Hakimi, and they are brilliantly plugging that gap with Skriniar. So this is something, this is a lesson that we need to learn from Inter Milan. But again, the league has just begun. I don't really think that it will be wise from our part to go ahead and say right now that, this is the like this team is faltering. But once they come to the League of Elites, the Champions League, that is where we will know that how exactly the team is here, or how exactly are they going to fare. But there are a couple of players whom I would really love to watch them, like love to watch playing for them, and one of them is Denzel Dumfries. Dumfries has been brilliant. I would also love to watch the exactly. So I would also love to watch the likes of Joaquin Correa coming into the picture. He's also a wonderful player. So that's all from Inter Milan's end. I won't really say that the team is falling, but they have lost on a couple of brilliant players and their coach as well. But I believe big teams do not really lament the letting go of stars. When Ronaldo left Manchester United, they didn't stop winning the Premier League. Then arrived the big names, then arrived RVP, then arrived a lot of players who were there to fulfill what was expected of them.
I just take on your hint of Ronaldo leaving, and we'll move on to our next team, that is Juventus, obviously. And they let go of Cristiano Ronaldo, and the team does not look great this season. I mean, it is wise of Cristiano Ronaldo to leave the side because he knows what is going to happen. The same old story, like they move on to the quarterfinals, the semifinals, and lose on to teams like Porto and Ajax. Like, how does the team look this season?
If you would ask me, Juventus has definitely been one of the best teams of Serie A. But right now, they are going through a transformation. They are going through a paradigm shift. And this phase comes for every single club. You will have to adapt. You will have to learn to grow. Now that Ronaldo had to retire one day or the other, right? You couldn't have just banked on Cristiano Ronaldo and went on winning titles. So the thing is, where is the backup? Do you have a backup in your ranks? They have let go of Pogba to Manchester United 5 years back. Right now, their best players, according to me, will be Federico Chiesa and Paulo Dybala. But they'll have to gel them well. My question to them is their midfield. Their midfield isn't up to the mark right now. Their midfield has fallen down from the grace. They have gotten the likes of McKennie coming in. Rabiot is not at his prime. And Danilo is a very inconsistent player. Danilo may be a very exciting player, but he's a very inconsistent player. And I guess that even Giorgio Chiellini is not fully fit. They should be using the likes of Manuel Locatelli more frequently. They should be using the likes of Carlo Pinsoglio and even Daniel Rugani coming into the team, because these are experienced players. They are exposed players. Now you see, it's good. It's good to lay the foundation to build a team. But still, again, I would repeat that not everything can be based on a foundation. You also need to win matches to keep your aura intact. It's good that you are eyeing a build up, but it's not good that you're letting go of your momentum. That build up is coming at the cost of your momentum.
Exactly. And now, obviously, we'll move on to the league, which is league of superstars like Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. And I think with Memphis Depay getting into Barcelona, and he has gelled in real quick with the team. So that is the talking point of today. Like Barcelona, Real Madrid, they're simply performing well this season. I think the teams are slowly starting to build up. With I think Memphis Depay had taken on the role of Lionel Messi. Do you agree with this?
I won't agree with that. Definitely not. But what I will actually bring to the fore is, you see, the fans. I don't know what they understand, but most of the fans. I understand that a player has been intrinsic to a football team for a long period of time. He's left an inviolable legacy behind him, and that's really a treat for the eyes. But what isn't true is that you start pinning everything onto that player. You start believing that the team is finished without that player. No team, no club can be smaller than the player. It is the club that will go on and on and on, right?
No.
So if you believe that, like I don't know why, but people believe that once Messi left, Barcelona was going to be finished. I mean, no, this team, I know that you probably don't have as good superstars as you would expect to be right now in Barcelona. There is a lot of chaos going around, but that doesn't mean that the team will perform bad, right? They have a strategy. I know people may not like Ronald Koeman. You see, this is what happens when you set up the bar so high. I mean, Barcelona set up the bar so high in the last decade that anything less than that bar, it comes out as a surprise, as a shock to the fans, and they would start comparing. Oh my God, this was the Barcelona I was used to, and this is. You see, if you know about Avengers, right? And when Avengers started, and when Tony Stark died, we believed that that probably was the end of the Marvel franchise. But right now, with the shows that Marvel has created, I am pretty sure all of us, all of you would agree with me that Phase 4 will be a much bigger deal than what Avengers was. I mean,
Exactly.
Kang coming in. So this is the same thing. You have to let go to accommodate new stars. Memphis Depay has proven to be a focal point for the Barcelona, for the Catalan attacks, and he is in goals. He's finding himself in goals. That is more important. He's a good striker. I mean, like you would give, like I don't know, he probably didn't play in Manchester because they wanted to use him as a winger. But if you actually look at Memphis Depay, he is a very good striker. He's a goal scorer. He knows the goal well. He knows his responsibilities well. And that is why he has been so successful so far for Barcelona. And at the same time, again, if you look Barcelona's midfield, Frankie de Jong is an absolutely sensational player. Same goes for Sergio Roberto. And alongside, I am really impressed with Martin Braithwaite. I mean, he blazed the league opener with a brace, and he's been doing phenomenally well. And same goes for Antoine Griezmann. I mean, Griezmann, after the departure of Messi, has found a new footing that we were not used to. So people who are saying that the team was finished after the departure of Messi, let me again iterate this. Several players have come into the picture. Does Real Madrid still have Alfredo Di Stefano? No, he left. The club survived. Ronaldo was not there in Manchester United. The club survived. And Maradona was not there in Napoli forever, but the club survived. Right? Pele was no longer in Cosmos, but the club survived. So it is not about one individual. A club is about an unity. A club is about the techniques to adapt. And Barcelona and Real Madrid both are adapting. On an honest note, if you would watch Barcelona play right now, it's much more it's much more delightful to the eyes because they no longer have a target man. They know that they have to build a team. If you remember that 2009 team of Barcelona, right, and even the team prior to that when Ronaldinho was out there and Messi was still in the heart, I mean, it was a team game. It wasn't an individual display that used to happen. And I'm pretty sure in the near 2 years to come forth, if they manage to sign another couple of good superstars, this team can be very much unstoppable.
Even talking about Real Madrid, like in the start of the season, we were thinking that they have a Gareth Bale who can click, who cannot click. They have an Eden Hazard who can click, who cannot click. They have a Karim Benzema who is quite old, and Karim Benzema has been performing throughout all of the season, the last few seasons. And maybe he couldn't click this season. So like with everything going on in this club, how do you think they'll gel on this season?
I personally believe the last season was unfortunate for Real Madrid that they didn't win a trophy. And it was in the last, like in the last 10 years, it was for the first time Real didn't win a trophy. But once again, that team is building too. They really wanted Mbappe on their side. Sadly, they couldn't get him. Sadly, they couldn't land him down. But at the same time, I believe the fact that they couldn't land Mbappe in this season, they will focus a lot more on Vinicius Junior. Now, Vinicius Junior, I understand he's a young talent and he's not really able to score as much as people would want him to. You see, when you join these clubs, a kind of expectation gets trapped on your shoulder. You are a part of this club, you have to keep on scoring. It doesn't happen that way. This is football, you are a human being. You are a man wrapped in a mortal soul. It's easy to say, like you score in every match. Oh my God, he's a goal scorer, he's a goal scorer. It doesn't happen that way. You have to build yourself, and Vinicius Junior is very young, but the way he has been putting himself in the Real Madrid lineup, the way he has been scoring as well pretty frequently these days, I am really impressed with this young lad. He is a very fast forward. He really can skittle very fast in that attacking line, and he also knows how he can score. But at the same time, I believe that Karim Benzema has been the perfect assistant to Vinicius Junior. It is his experience that will come in extremely handy for Real Madrid in this season, because you see there are not many stars who are out there in Real Madrid. They will have to bank on the likes of Isco, who's way past his prime. They will have to bank on the likes of Casemiro, who has been a tank in the center. The main players for Real Madrid will definitely be Gareth Bale, Karim Benzema, and if I'm not too mistaken, Vinicius Junior.
Exactly, and now we'll be moving on to the most exciting league in the planet right now for me. Now I'm not talking about the Chinese Super League. Viva Ronaldo! I think we are very happy about that, Rohit. Ronaldo is
Very.
back and he will be back with a bang. I think he'll be released on 10th. He's already released, right? He'll be released on 10th of September, I think. As per
Yeah, he
reports
will
from
be.
Manchester, he
Yeah,
will be right.
even he has still not been released. And there are reports that Sir Alex Ferguson himself will be revealing him to the club. I mean, like to the audience. So that's a massive thing. Even I am anticipating that release is that grand. This is a big day for like this for as a Manchester United fan. I mean, it's been ages since I've watched Ronaldo play, and believe me or not, I am pretty sure Ronaldo was an absolute destroyer for Real Madrid. But the Ronaldo that we have seen in Manchester United, he wasn't a destroyer. He was a creator. He was an artist. He was a Picasso. I mean, the way he used to dribble past the defenders, the way he used to dodge and score. I mean, that was
Only
a
here,
treat for the eyes.
only here
Exactly.
Cristiano
I mean,
supremacy.
so I still believe in Cristiano Ronaldo supremacy, but what I'm even happier about is the way Manchester United has been gelling. I mean, their game against Wolves, if you very closely follow the game, I was not happy with the first half performance. I'm still not happy with Ole's tactics. He's still using Pogba as a defensive midfielder. He's not a defensive midfielder. That is why Pogba is so electrifying for France, because Deschamps uses him as a like an attacking midfielder. Okay, so I personally believe that Ole needs to change his tactics. At the same time, I was shocked to see him using Sancho as a forward. Sancho is a thunderbolt on the right wing, so use him as a right winger and not as a forward. And I honestly, I was very scared every single time Fred stuck himself to Adama Traore. I said, "Oh my God." I'm pretty sure Fred's gonna get slaughtered out there. He was very scared. He
I
was
think,
dragging. I'm sorry, I
do
didn't
you
catch you.
agree?
Come again, please.
Like, I was saying that I don't think Fred is Premier League material. Do you agree with that?
I absolutely agree with that, and I personally believe that Fred was decent in the last season, but you need to understand that it wasn't just Fred; it was the partnership of Fred and Scott McTominay. If you leave Fred single-handedly as a defensive midfielder, it can lead to a catastrophe for Manchester United. So yes, I'm happy about Ronaldo. I'm happy about Manchester United right now being in the third spot ahead of Liverpool, Manchester City, Chelsea, and most importantly, Arsenal, who's in the last spot of the league table. Never mind.
5-0,
Uh,
5-0.
I don't know what's up with the team. Arteta really needs to go ahead and build a team out here, or I am pretty sure Arteta should leave the role to someone else. Another important fact of this league, Nuno Espirito Santo. He was a part of Wolves previously, and he left Wolves and he joined Tottenham. Tottenham has won 3 matches by the margin of 1-0 and are at the top of the table, wherein Wolves have lost their 3 matches by a margin of 1-0 after playing the best football and are right now languishing in the 18th position, fighting relegation, despite the fact that it's just the start of the league and I'm pretty sure they will turn around. But this is kind of an irony because you take out the coach who actually brought you here and then you give him to a team who is right now doing phenomenally well. So, yes, I am also very impressed with West Ham's style of playing, especially the way David Moyes has been doing. Moyes has really taken West Ham to a good height, and like I said, this is just the beginning of the league, and a lot of shiftings are going to happen, a lot of dynamics are going to change. But I'm impressed with the way West Ham has played. They've won 2 of their games, they have drawn once, and they are in the second spot. It's really a good thing to watch. I wish it was Manchester in the second spot, but with the King taking the field, I guess this Saturday, I'm pretty sure that like things are going to change. In fact, if you, I don't know whether you followed him or not, but if you follow Michael Vaughan's Twitter, after England's excruciating defeat at the hands of India, and it was so humiliating for the English fans, Michael Vaughan said that what's the point of watching the fifth test of India and England where Ronaldo is taking the field? I'm pretty sure that's a diversion because he is unable, he is not willing to take the defeats of England in such a painful way at the hands of India.
ठीक है, speaking about India, we'll move on to Indian football for a minute. वहाँ पे India defeating Nepal 2-1, and again it's the captain, leader, legend Sunil Chhetri scoring. So, like, how do you describe this Indian team? Again, is this over dependency on Sunil Chhetri or are other stars coming up?
Good point, good question. I would believe that the stars are coming up. That's a good point by Igor Stimash. I mean, I know people are not liking him because of the results that we aren't getting. But if you actually have a close look, he's building a team out here. Again, there is nothing that he can do because India hasn't got strikers. India hasn't got strikers, and that is going to hunt India big time once Sunil Chhetri retires. But for the time being, I am very happy that Sunil Chhetri has reached his 75th goal. Talking about that, even Cristiano Ronaldo reached the top of the world with 111 goals. He beat Ali Day in that last minute drama, theatrics, whatever you want to call it. That gives me hope. That gives me big time hope for Manchester United. At the same time, if Sunil Chhetri can score a couple of more goals, he will be overtaking Lionel Messi in the number of international goals scored. So I understand, again, people would be saying, how can you compare? It's not a comparison. Definitely not a comparison. But it is just a fact. It is just a tribute to our captain who has been carrying the nation on his shoulders for a long time now. He has been doing that single-handedly and he deserves this credit. And at the same time, try and understand Ali Day of Iran, who didn't actually play significant matches like Ronaldo and Messi did, still led this chart for a long time before Ronaldo finally came knocking. So it's a good thing. Again, I know that you will be comparing Indian footballer. Okay, all right, Sunil Chhetri hasn't faced the likes of big teams. I understand. But the teams that he has been facing, he has got no support from any other strikers because India hasn't got any. So he has been scoring. I mean, if you still watch him play, right, the goals that he scored, I still remember there was a time when he dribbled past 4 defenders and he carried the ball
Yes.
away and he scored. Now you may come up with a logic that's not against a formidable team. See, you just cannot call a team formidable because the word formidable is subjective. I mean, it depends on which players are coming. I understand you expect the Indian footballers to be at the top of their world with minimal support and zero resources. But I am pretty happy with the way they have performed. Again, India could have done better against Nepal because Nepal is a lower ranked team. Somewhere down the line, I believe that all this attacking move from India is not bearing fruit because of the absence of support from for Sunil Chhetri. We need a second striker. We need a second striker to score. And if you actually go by Sunil Chhetri, single man playing a single striker can at times, in fact, in most of the times, can lead to a target man concept Now, Sunil Chhetri is not that tall. He's a short-built fellow who is very dynamic, but he is not that muscle man or the target man who will bring in anything and score, right? So you have to understand, you cannot expect Sunil Chhetri to score inside out on every single day. So you need support. You need a better striker, and most likely, since we were talking about Romeo Fernandez on the last day, I personally believe that Stimash should actually start having a look at Romeo Fernandez. That guy is a good striker, and that guy is possibly the only striker whom we are looking forward in the near future if India has to improve. Because players like Farooq Chaudhary and all, I'm not pretty hopeful of them. Farooq Chaudhary has failed in big occasions and keeps on failing in most of the occasions.
So that's all for today, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. We have got you the roundup of all the leagues which are happening throughout the world and some of tidbits from the Indian football. So we hope Cristiano Ronaldo reveals himself on the 10th of September, and supposedly Alex Ferguson is there with him. So it will be a moment of nostalgia for all us United fans. And if you have liked this video, like, share, and subscribe.